So welcome to another edition of Rhône Infobites. We are joined again by Michael. Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you.
So being here for the second time, I think you know the drill by now. So let's hear another of your food experiences.
Okay. Well, we briefly touched on insects last time. So in uni, we were learning about protein sources, novel protein sources, and of course, it got onto bugs. And our lecturer thought it would be a great idea to bring in a massive bag of salt and chili crickets and pass them around the whole class. And everyone was squealing and shouting, and it was horrible.
Yep.
Which in Scotland it is a novel commodity in Scotland.
It
really is.
And did you try it?
Yeah, I tried one.
And you wouldn't go back?
No.
No.
Once the salt and pepper wears off, it's just a bug.
Yeah, I have to say you're braver than me. I don't know whether I could have done that, to be fair.
It took guts. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, last time we were here to talk about ochra card. This time we're going to talk about another one of our products. It was one of our new immunoaffinity columns. It's AFLAOCHRA RHONE WIDE. So can you firstly start by giving a sort of summary on the principle of immunoaffinity column cleanup?
Yeah, yep. So short and sweet, there's an antibody specific to an analyte of interest that you want to analyse for, bound to a gel in a cartridge. You apply a sample extract to that, cleaned up, quite crudely, but cleaned up slightly, so it's in liquid form, usually in a mix of solvent and buffer, and filtered. You apply that to the column, the analyte of interest binds to the antibody, and the sample matrix passes through. Anything non-specific to that antibody should pass through. You then can give the column a wash, remove all that matrix that's maybe stuck on, so you get a purified, cleaned up analyte sample. You can then elute that from the column using solvent. That will denature the antibody, and you basically, you get a concentrated, purified analyte.
Okay. So as the name suggests, this product's been designed to test for aflatoxins and ochratoxin A. What industries do you think would be interested in such a product?
So yeah, the classics really are spices, herbs, dried fruit, baby food, cocoa, coffee, cannabis, and cereal. Those are the classic ones. Yeah.
Okay. So some of those matrices, things like spices, herbs, cannabis even, sound as if they could be quite challenging to analyse. Are there any attributes of the product that can help it make analysis easier?
Yeah, so with more complex samples, sometimes you need heavier solvents. So this column has a acetonitrile tolerance of 20%, which is really, really high, which means you can use higher strength solvents in the extraction, and it won't compromise aflatoxin G2, which quite often falls by the wayside with immunoaffinity columns. Antibodies are raised to B1 mostly, so having that boost with G2 gets everything in line together, so it's really good for applying relatively high amounts of solvent and not compromising on anything.
Okay, yeah. I think reducing the use and volume of chemicals is something we've been looking at in a few of our methods. I think particularly now that we are carbon neutral accredited. So we've spoken about multi-toxin analysis in a few of our previous editions. This really seems to be the way that the market is going. Can you remind our listeners as to some of the advantages of multi-analyte analysis?
Yeah, so you get a big one-off benefit where you do one validation. You don't need to do multiple validations for multiple analytes. It's a one-time thing. So that saves a lot of time right at the start. And then from there, you have reduced sample preparation time, reduced cleanup time, reduced analytical run times. You can do multiple analytes at once on one HPLC. So you don't need two HPLCs, saving costs there. So you can get results quicker as well. At the end of the day, you can actually get more results in a shorter time. Which
ultimately means the lab's making more money, isn't it?
Yes.
Because they're analysing more samples in a day. Ultimately.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I suppose keeping with the sort of carbon neutral theme, you've reduced transportation because there's only one test kit rather than two. You've probably got reduced consumables and everything. So there can be cost savings associated with that.
All the way down the line.
Yeah. So obviously something that we are kind of aware of, it's the current economic factors. There's increasing prices, which is putting a lot of pressures on labs to ensure food security. but without having to compromise the standards for food safety. So the Rhône line has therefore been designed to balance cost and performance.
Yeah, basically. So, I mean, they're still really, really high quality products. They meet and exceed all the criteria by far that's required. So, but you get that kind of cost saving benefit as well, but you meet all specifications. Yeah.
I think, as we've sort of said, value for money products that really deliver quality and acceptable cost for the customer. Yeah. So what other products do we have available in the Rhône line?
So there's columns for aflatoxin, ochratoxin, deoxynivalenol, and zearalenone as well.
Okay. And I believe all of these products can also be automated using various automated systems.
Yes, yeah, they can, and we're going to be looking more into that. And you can get them in bigger packs and smaller packs, so you can adjust the cost effectiveness that suits the lab, basically. And then that would mean, you can buy more for automated systems.
Yeah. So perhaps automation is a topic to discuss further, and one we'll look at in the second series of Rhône Infobites.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, once again, thanks for joining us, Michael. Great. And that concludes another edition of the Rhône Infobites.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.